Hey guys, I wanted to show you today how my team and I are using Simplified for our entire social media workflow and what it looks like and what the different roles are. So I'm in my Simplified workspace right now, and our social media team actually used to use a couple of different tools to be able to have an approval workflow. So our designers would create the designs in Simplified, and then we would get those designs approved and manage approving designs, approving captions, and approving hashtags all in a different tool. We use Notion. And so now we've actually been able to bring the entire process from design all the way to publishing into Simplified. And I just want to show you how that works today. So, what we do first is we have a designated workspace for social media. So, you can see up here it says social media and video. And then when you click the drop down menu, I have a couple of other workspaces here. But you can click this invite members. And this is where you invite your teammates. And then you can choose their different role by clicking this down arrow button. Right now, we have Carlos, who's a designer. He's listed as a creator. That means that he can have full access to all of the design and video, but he's not able to actually schedule or publish posts. He can save them as drafts, but he can't actually schedule anything. It does need approval. Full members are able to upload everything. They can upload captions, they can generate captions, but they can't publish anything unless it's approved. They can request approval, but they can't approve it. Then you have an approver, and that's somebody who can go in and approve drafts and schedule them at a certain date or a certain time. And then we have the admin, and the admin has full access to everything. They can approve, they can create designs, and they can add people to the workspace. So the admin is usually like the social media manager. So once you have your role, step one of our social media process is we start creating the designs. So if you come over here to this little design icon, you can click on My Projects. And then at the top here, you'll see a couple of our different templates that the designers have been creating. So we organize our different campaigns and posts into folders. And you can create a folder by clicking this little plus button here. And then you can, name it whatever you'd like. And then once the designers have completed the designs, they just save them in these different folders. So for instance, today, let's go ahead and look at some Twitter templates. And these are just some designs that the designers have created in Twitter dimensions that are ready to go. So now we're looking at this design, and the designers just save everything that is done into the folders, and then I come in and check and approve them. So usually I'll just open up this comments and just say approved. If I need any edits or anything, I can tag them. Carlos, let's add some sparkle. They love when I say things like that and make it pop. And once he sees that he's tagged, he can come in and reply or resolve, and then he can go ahead and make his edits in real time. So that's our approval workflow. So we approve our designs pretty far in advance using this comment section, and then we can, make edits or whatever we need to do. Now, when it's time to schedule, our scheduler actually comes into these folders and she'll open up this design and say, okay, this is for Twitter. She has our planned calendar, so she knows the date that this is supposed to be scheduled for. So she'll open this up and she has the caption already right here. And so you can copy the caption by clicking edit and then just copying and pasting it. So we're going to copy that to our clipboard. And then let's click on this little arrow button, and this is going to export the design straight to our content calendar. So we'll choose the type of file that we'd like it to be. Let's select PNG, and then we're going to do all our boards and click export. Okay, and now that it's uploaded, we're going to select the channel that we're going to post it to. So you can see that I have all of my different channels selected. I'll just deselect the ones that I do not want to post this to. And sometimes in our content rotation, we post the same content at different times. And you can do that as well. So I could schedule this for maybe my Facebook page and my Twitter and my LinkedIn and my Facebook group. So let's say that I want to schedule this for all three at once. You can do that as well. And we know that I copied my caption earlier, so I can just paste it right in there. And then let's say that I want to add some hashtags. Usually we have our hashtags already saved under snippets. And so when you click snippets, you'll be able to scroll down here and it says product hashtags, Twitter or Twitter hashtags. So I'll click that. And then let's go ahead, and we already have emojis put in there. So I can preview what the post is going to look like on all of these different social networks. So I'll click preview post, and I'll see on the Facebook group, this is what it's going to look like. On our Twitter, this is what it'll look like. And then on our Facebook page, this is what the post is going to look like. And then Nicole clicks save as draft, and she actually puts in the date and the time that it should be scheduled for once it's approved. So she'll say maybe the 30th. And then she can say 10 a.m. And then she'll click add draft. Great. So now that this post has been scheduled, let's go over to our content calendar. And you can just click on calendar in this left-hand column, and then let's go to planner. And you'll see that the draft is right here at the top. So on Planner, you can manage a couple of different ways. If you want to, let's say that you're just looking at LinkedIn and you want to manage just the LinkedIn posts, you can deselect all of these different accounts and manage one account at a time. Or what I usually do, because who has time to do it individually, is I just manage them all at the same time. And you can use this little toggle switch. By clicking this icon, it opens and closes the sidebar. And so you can use this little toggle switch to be able to manage all of your different accounts. So let's go ahead and close that. And we have a draft here, and you can see who actually created the draft. You'll see the author here is me, and we have our 3 different posts. So we have the Facebook page, the Facebook group, and then our Twitter. And then down here, you can see that Nicole made this one. So you can always manage and see who is uploading these drafts. And then what I would do is I would click request approval. That way, I know that I've put all of the information in and it's just waiting to be approved. So I'll click request approval for a few of those. And then in this upper left-hand corner, you'll see I'm under drafts right now. And here's all of our drafts that are waiting to go. Let's go ahead and request approval for those. And sometimes, like if we're still working on keyword research or hashtag research, we leave it in drafts until it's ready to go, and then we'll click request approval. So once we click request approval and we think that it's good to go, you can click this down arrow button and you'll go to the awaiting approval column. And this is where only an approver or an admin can actually give the approval for those posts. So I'll come in here as an approver now, and I can go ahead and leave comments. Maybe I'll say, try again on that caption, or the hashtags aren't right, or whatever it is. And I can click approve. And once that's been approved, it's going to switch to ready to publish. For this one, you also have a few other options. If you click this down arrow button, you can reject it. And then you can reject that draft. It'll go back to drafts. Or because I'm an admin, I could schedule this right away and kind of bypass the approval process, or you can edit it, or you can send it back to drafts. So let's send that back to drafts and say, there might be some more work that needs to be done on that one, or you can always delete it. So now if we go back to drafts, you'll see this little red icon, and this is the one that I rejected. So you can tell who rejected it. And then there would be a comment, of why I rejected it. So I might tag Nicole and say different caption. And then we'll comment that. And then she'll be able to go back and see kind of like what my comments were on that. And then she could request approval again and it would continue going. Now let's go to our awaiting approval. We saw those things. Now let's go ahead and approve this post and we'll move on to our ready to publish column. And then this one is ready to publish. You'll be able to see who approved it. So you can see the little green thumb and see that it was approved by me. And now we're ready to schedule. And scheduling is actually really simple because we already put in the day and the time earlier. So you'll just click on schedule and then click the big yellow schedule button. And you don't even have to select the date and time because it's already been selected. So you just click schedule and that'll drop right into your content calendar. And you do get these little pop-up confirmations on each step. That way, if you forget or you're confused about where it went, it'll say like, this has been moved to ready to publish. And then you'll come over here and say, oh, look, it's ready to publish. That's where my post is. You also have a few different options here. If you want to comment again, you can do that. Or you can schedule, you can edit it, send it back to drafts, or delete it. Now let's look at our content calendar and actually see this post in action. So we'll go to publishing, and this is my content calendar with all of my different posts. Let's scroll down and let's check the 30th, and you can see my post is right here. Now, another cool thing that we love to do, because you should have a content rotation going so you're not having to come up with new content all of the time, is you can actually click this down arrow button once a post is scheduled in your content calendar. And you can click this repost to button. And this is going to allow you to repost to a different channel, maybe in a few weeks. So we use this all the time, where we started off on the Facebook page, and now it's time for this content to cycle through LinkedIn. And so we'll just change the date. Originally, we did it on the 30th. Let's go ahead and move it about 3 weeks down to the 21st. And then we'll schedule that again. And in 2 clicks, guys, you're able to just really scale your content. Where this is like a simple way to be able to like just fill up that content calendar and get your content there without having to re-upload or do any of that. Another cool 1-click button that we have is if you click these 3 little arrow dots on a scheduled post, you can click multiply, and this will actually bulk schedule copies of this same post. So I do this with our tutorial videos because, we have new users coming in all the time, and we need to continuously see these tutorials again and again. So I love to use the multiply button to quickly scale my content and repost it again and again. So I'll select my publishing frequency and we'll say weekly. I want this tutorial to go out. And then I can select the number of copies. So how many times do I want this to be published weekly? And let's say I want it to go for the next 5 weeks. And I'll click next. And then I can choose the date and the time that I want it to multiply. And I'll click finish. Now let's check May. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to see, every Sunday at 9 a.m., this is going out again and again. And here's a little calendar icon. When you click on this multiplied post icon, it actually shows you like, okay, this is the actual original post that has been multiplied. And here's our upcoming multiplied post. If you decide that you don't want it to recur, maybe it's not performing well, you can click remove all future copies at any time. And then those are all deleted. So that's also a really quick way to scale your content and help you have more time back so that your social content is still going out, your audience is still learning, but you're not having to be so hands-on. Another feature that we love to use as far as filling up content calendars is our world holiday calendar. So you can access that by clicking these 3 little dots in the upper left-hand corner and then clicking on world holidays. Right now I do have it selected, so this is what it looks like unselected. And when you click it, you'll see these little days that pop up and these key dates or social media days where if it's relevant to your niche, it could be beneficial for you to be able to hop on maybe a popular hashtag or a popular theme so that you can get some more visibility for your brand. I would warn you, just make sure that they're relevant for your niche or your brand. If you have nothing to do with nursing and maybe you're like a finance company, I don't know if National Nurses Day is going to be for you. It might be, I'm not sure. So what you'll do is just click on the actual day, and then you'll see an explanation of what that day is, some popular hashtags for this specific year. So you can copy that directly to your clipboard. And then when you're creating your post, you'll be able to have those relevant hashtags. And then you'll click Get Template. And this brings you directly to our template library. And then just add your logo to it or change the text. And you can automatically post that. And then you have some content when you're first starting with a blank month and you're wondering what to post. Sometimes that world holiday calendar is just a really simple way to be able to get some quick wins and get some content out there. So I hope that this was helpful, guys. Our approval workflow is available on our growth plan. You can find out more about Simplified's pricing at simplified.com/pricing. Or you can always ping online support and we would be happy to help you and assist you with changing your plan. If you want to see more tutorial videos on how to use Simplified to the fullest, check out our YouTube or our Academy page at academy.simplified.co. See you there.